Zeus. Who is he, the strange, wild-bearded figure, the male god of the Olympians, the Almighty, the Thunderer, a seducer, a rapist, an unfaithful spouse and a careless father of a whole tribe of heroes and nymphs? Or a sacred king condemned to death by the local priestesses of the great goddess? Even Homer himself calls the chief god of Hellas as Cretagenes, the one born in Crete. Moreover, the leader of the Olympic gods since immemorial times had not even been called Zeus. Zon is how he's remembered by the Cretans. He lived among the shepherds. He wandered through the mountains of Crete. He hid from his own father, Cronus. After all, he, the sixth child of the marriage of Rhea Earth with Cronus Saturn, had to undergo the fate of all his brothers and sisters, to die having just appeared in the world, to migrate from his mother's womb into his father's belly. And it was not because Cronus, the father of Zeus, was cruel or imprudent. Far from it. The prophecy and curse of his father Uranus, killed by him, that was what compelled him towards this frightening outrage, for it has been foretold to the father-slayer that he too would perish from his own offspring. 5 children, and what children, have been devoured by Cronus. During her 6th pregnancy, the inconsolable mother ventured on a ruse. Having given birth to Zeus, she gave her husband to devour not her son, but a stone wrapped in his afterbirth. And Zeus himself she hid in a cave, the Dectian Cave, which is located in the mountains of eastern Crete. However, Cronus, terrified by the prophecy, felt something was amiss. He listened carefully, and not in vain. After all, the thunder roars even in its infancy. If it was not for the youth's Curetus from the retinue of Rhea, he would have ended up as his father's supper. But they danced, wielding their swords and shields, daily and nightly. And they had saved little Zon from the god-devouring appetite of the father. The Dectian Cave, the Holy of Holies, the cradle of the new god. Here, according to legend, the boy Zon was born. Why in a cave? Is it only because it saves from trouble? Or is that all the young gods are her children, the children of the mother, moist Mother Earth, the one which gives birth to all living things, nourishes her progeny, and then feeds on them herself? Is it not she, the Dark Mother, that is the earliest form of brutal time, Cronus Saturn, devouring his children? The one who gives, loves, and fosters, she also takes away, returns to herself. The cave and the grave are 2 wombs. From one, people arise, into the other they descend. The insoluble mystery of existence. Out of here, from the womb of the earth, gods not only enter the world, it is here that people worship them. They dance and sing hymns. The chief ones, in honor of the sun, are dance of Mother Earth. Round dances are carried out around him, the Hores around the Horus. They help the nights circle and the hours to pass. The Hores dance through the hours. But why is it that even now, in the age of nuclear chronometers, guards of the clocks still dance? Why? Maybe it's that time does not move by itself, and is it driven on? led on? For some people, straight on, from birth, the beginning, to death, the end, while for others, it goes in a circle, from birth to death, and from death towards a new birth. What kind of time was it for Zeus' on? Not that eternal and carefree god of Olympus, but for the king god, the leader god, and the man god. At first, everything was simple as time passed. Zan rose up and turns into the lad Zeus, and he submits himself to the tutelage of the shepherds of central Crete. Here on the Aegean mountains, he is still hiding from Cronus in this cave. But onwards, stop. Now time for Zeus is not onwards. It no longer presents itself as an arrow leading from birth till death. Zeus' time closes itself in a circle. Having been born and brought up on Crete, Zeus Cretagenes dies on the island too. The king is divine, yet not immortal as God. The king, the husband of his wife, and the bull of the people, is destined to become the sacrifice with his flesh and blood to enter into the womb of Mother Earth, so that she would conceive and bear a young God in the body of a new king. And is that all that he is destined to be fodder, manure, the pleasure of the wife, to reign only because he is the husband, to bear submissively lust, self-will, female whims, and then to pass on the watch to the shiftman, and to wait obediently for the end on the scaffold or on the furrow? But what should one do? His rule without a divine wife is not accepted by the island dwellers, while the local priests of the goddess would not concede even an iota of power. Hence, he would need divine blood, but alien, not of local origin.